Good morning, everybody. Sorry about that. We're having technical difficulties, but good morning, everyone. You are listening to CMC Live on Hawk Live Radio, the official radio station for Hillsborough College here in Tampa, Florida. I'm your host, Prodigal, and welcome to the show. I hope everybody had a great week thus far. No drama, just peace. I actually went to Orlando to visit my dad this weekend, so it was actually very relaxing, very cool, very fun. So I'm excited to be back in the city, in the great sun city of Tampa. So I just hope you guys really had a relaxing weekend thus far. So coming up, I always have my visitTampaBay.com where I give out different events that's going on and what's happening in Tampa Bay. But before we get to that, we're going to do a quick music break and we'll be right back. You are listening to CMC Live on Hawk Live Radio, the official radio station for Hillsborough College here in Tampa, Florida. Welcome back to the show. I'm your girl Prodigal, and you are listening to CMC Live. So right now we're going to be talking about visitTampaBay.com. They were always advertised cool events to keep you guys entertained this month. There's so much more to check out, so when you have time to look over visitTampaBay.com, get all the fun in while you can. So this week we're going to have the Hillsborough County Fair that is running from November 1st to November 9th. This family fun tradition features a thrill circus, magic shows, midway rides, live music, livestock shows, exhibits, contests, fair foods, and more. It costs $11 for the admission, $8 for students, $5 for seniors, and kids under 6 are free. And if you want to see more, you can look on the website for the admission and ride specials. Next, we have the Tampa Tattoo Arts Festival coming from the Tampa Convention Center that is running from November 7th through November 9th. And there you can just enjoy different ink, artistry, and entertainment, and hundreds of tattoo artists as they take over Tampa Bay for Villains Art 11th Annual Tattoo Arts Festival. You get to watch live performances from circus acts to a archer and browse unique vendors. Then you have the Tampa Bay History Center which is an annual gala. You have that coming from Tampa Bay History Center that is running on November 14th. So under that, you can also look at Something in the Air, celebrating our civilian and military aviation history, and that will guide you throughout the night, coming from Duncan and Jessica Belser, who will be actually running that for the second year. And then last but not least, we have The Wizard of Oz coming from the Strass Center. That runs from November 14th through November 23rd. You get to follow the Yellow Brick Road to Tampa Bay. The conservation, oh, sorry guys, having a tongue tied. Conservator Theater is bringing the magic of Oz to life with the charming stage adaptation of Wizard of Oz. Enjoy the beloved songs from the classic MGM film as Dorothy journeys from Kansas to the Oz. So that is coming from the Strass Center for Performing Arts. So you guys can check that out from November 14th to November 23rd. And then we have the Chicken Yoga from Yoga Loft Tampa and Ybor Misfits, and that is coming from November 16th. Actually, I've never done chicken yoga. I've done goat yoga. So chicken yoga will actually be different for me. If I want to say it's been a quite journey trying to do goat yoga. It was fun. It was fun. And you get to experience a lighthearted blend of wellness and Ybor City charm at Chicken Yoga. It is hosted by Hotel Haya in partnership with Yoga Loft Tampa and Ybor Misfits. This unique event invites participants to enjoy a guided yoga session surrounded by the chickens. So you guys, that is coming from visitampabay.com. You know, I always try to do this with every segment of my show so I can give you guys some events to check out throughout the month. Coming up in the next segment is SOS Burnout. But before we get to that, it's time to take another break with some more great music. That was the famous Love on the Brain by Rihanna. Again, you are listening to CMC Live on Hawk Radio Live, the official radio station for Hillsborough College here in Tampa, Florida. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about SOS burnout. So, what I mean by burnout is, when you get trying to get life started and you're working and you're doing all this stuff at the same time when it comes to school, when it comes to mental health, when it comes to helping others, taking care of family. Sometimes being burnt out is it's a lot to handle. So I just wanted to give you guys some tips on how to work on being burnt out. So like I said, it happens to everyone at some point. Lives gets busy as we deal with the various daily responsibilities. You're helping people out, you're taking care of families, but sometimes we get too busy and forget to step back and take rest. And that's when the burnout can occur. And I'm coming from WebMD, and it was written by Jabeen Begum, and she wrote a segment on what is burnout. Burnout can be caused by stress, but it is not the same. Stress results from too much mental and physical pressure and too many demands on your time and energy. I work as a CNA, and just yesterday I was telling my partner I am very burnt out. I feel mentally and emotionally drained. So I feel like for those that do work in a very demanding field, it is okay to say no. It is okay to take that day off of rest. It is okay to say, you know what, I'm just not going to do anything today, but just stay in my bed, relax, and not move. It feels good to be productive and have your whole mindset there than being productive and not having it there. You know what I'm saying? Meaning there's no reason for you to be productive in a way where you're too tired to. And so when I say take rest, please take rest. And then also another thing that I found interesting is that there is a difference between being burnt out and depression. So burnout can look like a depression. So, if you are in that frame, it is critical to get a professional diagnosis. And then the key difference is you can ease the burn off with rest or time. And, but with depression, it's a medical illness, and it needs to be treated with therapy or medication. But as I said, it can be from your job, it can be from caregiving, it can be from the stressful activities that you do through your everyday life. So the best thing that you should do is to take rest and to put yourself first. And so there are 4 different types of burnouts that I've learned throughout the article. The first one is a low overload burnout, and this happens when you work harder and harder and you begin to get very frantic in the pursuit of your success. And from that, you get to experience risk with your health and when your personal life needs to be evaluated. The next one is under challenge burnout, which means when you feel underappreciated and bored. Maybe your job isn't giving you more opportunities to learn or to have room for growth in your career. If you feel under challenged and devalued, you may distance yourself and avoid responsibilities. And then you have neglect burnout. And this happens when you feel helpless. If things are not going right, you may believe that you're not able to keep up or to be incompetent with what you're going through. And you basically try to put yourself in a pattern where you doubt your abilities and talents or accomplishments. And the last one is habitual burnout. And this is the most serious phase of it. They basically said that it happens when your physical and mental fatigue is chronic. You feel sad. You feel your behavior changes. You cross over into depression and suicidal thoughts. And it is crucial at that time to seek help. My burnout is actually overload burnout. I actually am, as I said before, I am a CNA. I am taking classes at school. I am doing a security class after that. So in that time frame, in that segment, I'm trying to do all of that at the same time. And it can be exhausting. And I try to put myself on a high pedestal to be successful and to risk myself and my health to apply myself to my success. And what I've realized is it is not worth it. It is not worth it to place yourself under the banner of I have to be successful. And in order to be successful, I have to burn myself out. It is okay to be successful and take one step at a time. It is not okay to overload yourself with burnout. And I am learning about this every day. I have learned that it is okay to just take one step at a time and know that your life is meant to be in a slow moment and not a fast moment. It happens, it just happens. Life happens, but you have to take your time. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is just withdraw yourself. It is okay to deal with yourself. You don't have to deal with people. Listen here, it is not an obligation to be out in this world to make friends with people. It is okay to withdraw from people. You don't have to deal with a group of people. If somebody is telling you that in order for you to be in my life, you have to be around me 24/7, change your scenery. I believe that when you put yourself first, others will follow you. And when they see that, okay, she's a leader, no means no, yes means yes, people will come around you. And also, you have to remember that at the end of the day, when you look in the mirror, you look at yourself. You don't look at the other people that you hang around or you try to surround yourself with. Withdrawal is the best. And also, the different causes that they listed for life and work factors that can contribute to burnout is unmanageable workloads, deadline pressure, too much work, not enough time to rest, or downtime, which I spoke about, feeling that work or life is out of your control, feeling unrecognizable or unrewarded, lack of sleep, meaningful relationships, or personality traits such as perfections, or just need of control. So as I said before, when it comes to burnout, it's okay. This is life. It's going to happen at least one time in your life. But what I can say is don't stay there. Remember that you are loved. You are cared about from different aspects. And my thing is, if you are on a job, for example, if you're on a job and you feel like you're devalued or you feel like you're not appreciated, I feel like changing up the scenery is definitely the number one thing to do. You don't have to be surrounded by stress. So when I say put yourself first, I mean that with all honesty. So that is my segment on burnout. And coming up in the next segment, we will be talking about some laughter with false funny tales. But before we get to that, we want to take another break with some more great music. Stick around, everybody. Again, you are listening to CMC Live on Hawk Live Radio, the official radio station for Hillsborough College here in Tampa, Florida. So I just wanted to do something different and just read out about I'll say about two stories of fall funny tales. So Thanksgiving's coming up and I just wanted to do something different and read some funny stories related to Thanksgiving. This is coming from agiftofhappiness.com and the title of it is From Awkward to Hilarious, Their Favorite Thanksgiving Stories. So as I said, guys, Thanksgiving is coming up and we just want to give thanks to all the things that we have in our lives. But, we have some pretty funny things that can also happen during the holidays. So I said, okay, let me just go ahead and see what different stories they have. So in honor for the holiday, I'm going to be reading from agiftofhappiness.com, our favorite Thanksgiving stories, funny tales. So the title of this one is The Year We Had to Eat Thanksgiving Dinner at McDonald's. 'Twas the night before Thanksgiving and I was in charge of making a dinner. I was fresh out of college and I had never cooked a turkey before. But I was confident that I could do it. My family was counting on me to make a delicious Thanksgiving meal, and I was sure I could deliver a feast to be remembered. I followed the instructions from Martha Stewart herself to a T, or so I thought. I spent hours stuffing, trussing, and preparing the turkey and all the trimmings. But when it came time to put the turkey in the oven, I accidentally turned on the broiler instead of the oven. Soon the whole kitchen was filled with smoke and an alarm went off. My family came running into the kitchen to see what was going on, just as I pulled the scorched and still raw turkey from the oven. I was so disappointed that the turkey was burnt. The side dishes were no better, the mashed potatoes were lumpy, the green beans were also burnt, and the cranberry sauce was stuck to the bottom of the pan, and don't even get me started on the pumpkin pie. Defeated, Dad piled us up all into the car, and on Thanksgiving Day, we went to McDonald's drive-thru. It was a traditional Thanksgiving meal that we're used to, but as we were eating our happy meals, we all started to laugh until we had tears streaming down our faces. I'd never cooked Thanksgiving dinner again. And that was the year we had to eat Thanksgiving dinner at McDonald's. Reading over this, I was like, this is hilarious because first off, this is my whole spiel. I haven't cooked the turkey before, but I am very versatile when it comes to the meat. But to turn on the boiler instead of the oven, I wonder what year was this when this was made, because usually if we're talking about up-to-date ovens, they have buttons that say like boiler, oven, you can pretty much point the button, point at the button and turn it on. And then my thing is, out of all the restaurants, because I'm not even going to lie, I'm not much of a fan when it comes to McDonald's. I said to myself, now out of all the restaurants in the state, you want to sit here and go to McDonald's, but okay. But that was funny. I really enjoyed that one. And it just, at the end of it all, you guys ended up laughing, and that's what it's all about: laughter, togetherness, and just having family fun. And so the next story that I wanted to share is coming from this year we all received the same gift. So one year our grandma decided to give us all the same gift, an ugly sweater that she had knitted herself. As we opened our gifts from Grandma, we all tried to be polite and grateful, but it was clear that none of us were thrilled with the gift. Grandma had started to knit a few months before, so none of the sweaters fit us properly, and the arms were in weird places. Seriously, no one is shaped like that. She tried to knit a turkey on the front of my brother's sweater, but instead of looking cute and festive, the turkey looked like something out of a horror movie. At first, we were all a little disappointed, but as we started to put them on, we realized that they were actually kind of fun. And when we saw how happy Grandma was, and as we laughed and joked with each other, we knew that this was the best Thanksgiving gift we could ever receive. The sweaters quickly became a running joke within the family. Every year, we would buy each other a new ugly sweater to wear, and we would compete to see who would find the best one. So thank you, Grandma, for making our favorite Thanksgiving tradition. We'll always cherish our ugly sweaters and the memories that go along with them. So that was a cute story, and that was named the year we all received the same gift. I actually have three grandmothers, and they are very, very festive. I can say that they do like to cook and celebrate and make sure the family enjoys themselves for the holidays. And so this year, I don't really know what's happening this year. I know for myself I'm going to be working, but I know for this year they're going for one of my grandmas, they're going to Jacksonville for Thanksgiving. I have one in Colorado, Georgia, and then another one in Alabama. So they're spread apart, but they're all festive. And it's just the small things, whether it's a tree, whether it's a ugly sweater, whether it's a turkey, like it all means something to somebody. So I always try to make one gift out of everything, like make it important to you, although you don't think that it's important. It's okay to say, okay, even though I don't like it, let me make it important. So whether you're finding the perfect gift, whether you are just, hey, you just want to just go out and enjoy yourself instead of having it at the house, you want to go and enjoy yourself at any restaurant. This year for Thanksgiving, I hope and pray for everyone's safety, and that you will be laughing with your family and you have the gift of happiness. And that is coming from awkward to hilarious. And that was my segment on fall funny tales. So get everybody just sit tight. And I want to bring out my famous vent 101 where I just vent and just listen, just give y'all a tidbit on what's going on in my life. So again, sit tight, and we're coming up with Vent 101. Again, you are listening to CMC Live on Hawk Radio Live, the official radio station for Hillsborough College here in Tampa, Florida. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. And right now we will be talking about my life. Vent 101. I I like to tangent, and I like to go off tangent about how life is doing right now. And so I like to put my little 2 cents in and just be like, okay, vent one on one. Let's talk about life. Okay, so this past week, as I said, I went to my dad's house for just a little break. I have every other weekend off, so this weekend I spent time with my dad and I enjoyed myself. I haven't seen him since December of last year, so I am blessed to still have him in my life. My dad is my hero. He is my everything, so I try to at least make time for him even in my hectic schedule. And so I came back Monday morning. I had to go to work. I came back Monday morning around 6:50, and then I had to be to work at 3 p.m. So listen, it was a really tiring week. And then Tuesday, so my schedule is 3 p.m. to 11 p.m., and then Tuesday I go to school from 11 to 12, and then I have work from 3 to 11. Wednesday I don't have any work or school, but I just picked up a new security class. So I'm trying to get my security D license. So that's what I'm doing right now. So imagine trying to go to school throughout the week. And then on top of that, you're as well going online for a license. So it's a lot, one of the nights, I don't know what day it was. I think it was either Monday or Tuesday. I went on around 11:30, and I stayed until like 1 in the morning online. So I'm trying, I am trying to change up my careers and opportunities when it comes to CNA, because as I said, it's becoming to be a bit much. I will never lose my license. Like I won't, not pick it up again, but just to take a break. So that was definitely a big challenge for me, because it's like, oh, well, I don't really know what much to do. But I used to do warehouse work. I used to work with kids. I used to do different things when it comes to assistant managing, when it comes to stage plays from community theater. So there's a lot of me that I know that I can give out. So that is my task, is to better myself. So this weekend, this week is mostly just trying to get on the ball game with that. And then when it comes to hardships, it's nothing hard. As I said, listen, it happens. A good cry is a good cry. I cried yesterday because I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I feel so stagnant. Like I feel like I'm not moving where I need to go, but every step is important. What I can say is I'm proud of myself for coming on here and doing this show every Thursday, and then I have my actual radio show with my colleagues on Tuesday. So it's a lot, but I take honor in that. I take pride in that, and I say, okay, even though I'm going at this slow pace, the slow pace means something. So I'm grateful. I'm really grateful. And I wish that I could stop beating myself up so much, So the thing is, when it comes to life, you look online and you try to compare yourself with these different artists and everything that they're going through and how they went up their ladder, but you never know like what they have to go through. I definitely say that I'm really grateful for the trials and tribulations that I've went through, because it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad that I took time to be patient and to learn from wisdom. I was raised by my grandparents, so I take what they've given me and apply it to my life, because at the end of the day, it's not about the race to where you're going. It's how you're getting there, you know. So it's powerful behind that. And then, you know, the typical bills and you know, money, but I'm grateful. I am beyond grateful. It What I can say is when I get in my little rut, when I get down, I just think about everything that's around me, and I it's just a spark comes in me. It really it does come in me, and it lights up, and it's like, you know, you got to keep going. So it's important to stop what you're doing and to say to yourself that I can do this despite all that's going. Hey, I'm gonna be all right, you know. So I pray that this is a lesson for me to challenge myself and to not think about what's going on and to just live in the moment, you know. So um what I can definitely say is life is a test. You just have to you have to determine on how you're going to take it. So that was my event 101. Life is good, y'all. And you know, despite my ups and downs, your girl's holding on. She will be a-okay. So trust me, you will all succeed. Doesn't matter how long we get there, as long as we take our steps one by one, we will all get there. So coming up in the next segment, I will just be giving you a rundown on what's coming in the next week with news and celebrities. But before we get to that, it's time to take another break with some more great music. Again, you are listening to CMC Live on Hawk Radio Live, the official radio station for Hillsborough College here in Tampa, Florida. So I'm going to be coming from eonline.com, and I'll be giving you some news and celebrity hotspots for this week. Lala Anthony and Carmelo Anthony's son, Kyan, makes his college basketball debut out. Okay, so Lala Anthony supported her son Kyan Anthony, whom she shares with Carmelo Anthony, as he made his college basketball for Syracuse Orange, scoring 15 points against the Binghamton Bearcats. So I don't know if you guys are into celebrity news, but Lala Anthony is actually was married to Carmelo Anthony, and he is a famous basketball player, and his son is following in his footsteps of his dad, and he scored 15 points over the Binghamton Bearcats. So she shared several highlights from the game. She showed him off making a 3-pointer in the first quarter. So it was a special occasion for them too, and I hope and pray that he goes further. Same thing with LeBron James' son too. It's cool that they are both playing in the same league with their parents, and even when it comes to LeBron James and how they're actually playing on the same team too. So it's special and important, and I know for sure that both of them are going to be very successful and very blessed. So shout out to you, Cayenne, and keep going. But next, we have actually it's a sad story. But I actually went on my phone coming into school today that Dallas Cowboy Marshawn Nealon has passed away at 24 days after scoring his first touchdown. I am not familiar with him, but condolences to his family. They tweeted that Marshawn was a beloved teammate and member of our organization. The Cowboys stated their thoughts and prayers are with his family and his girlfriend. NFL player Jonathan Persley shared that he is a dearest friend, and they are also devastated with his loss. What I can say is it's a lot of, I'm not gonna lie, like it has been a lot of deaths going on this far when it comes to NFL. I mean, it's not more so NFL players, but just leagues, period. A lot of people have been passing away, so my heart is really heavy when it comes to this, and it's I wouldn't say tiresome is not the word. It's weariness of looking at your phone and seeing that, a lot of these stars, they are passing away. I want to say it was last month. D'Angelo, the singer, he passed away, and then months prior, Angie Stone passed away. So it's like their kids are in the midst of losing their mom and dad, and now you have this young man passing away. So when I say my heart goes out to every family, it does, and I hope and pray that they recover. We got to stick together, so again, condolences, and my heart goes out with every family. Next thing I'm going to talk about is the different movies that's coming out. Actually, Tyler Perry just brought out BET Plus and VH1, and he's coming out with a new movie called Finding Joy. I actually haven't seen the not upcoming. Well, I mean it's fairly new, but it's called Ruth and Boaz. I've been trying to sit down and watch it, but as you know, I gotta work. So again, it's been a real honor to see him continue to strive and do what he needs to do in his workmanship when it comes to these movies, because it's a lot when you're trying to do one thing at one time and being I had to different filmmaking. So shout out to him, and I really need to sit down and watch the movie because I'm actually really interested in that. So that's coming from E! News. Another thing that I did want to point out is actually, let me see. I was reading about it earlier about the Dancing with the Stars and how over the years their guest has been changing, and it's their 20th anniversary episode, and they're giving out their Dancing with the Stars episode. So it's a Dancing with the Stars reveals guest judge for 20th anniversary episode. And so when I was watching Dancing with the Stars, it was Carrie Ann Alba, it was Bruce, and I forgot the last judge's name, but my favorite was Carrie Ann Alba. And I stopped watching it. I did stop watching it, but to see that it's already been 20 years, I was just interested to see who the special guest is. They didn't say who it was, but I'm like, because then you look at The Voice and how their judges have changed too. I'm a big Alicia Keys fan, and she was on there for one season, and then now they have Reba McEntire on there now. So shout out to Dancing with the Stars 20th anniversary episode. You have that. You have, what's the other one? You have Wheel of Fortune, who's still going. You have all these shows that are already on year 20 and 30 and going on. So shout out to that. And that's coming from eonlinenews.com, where they just give out different segments on what's going on in the world. And so, as I said before, just keep in the loop with what's going on. Try to see what's going on in our world, and so I can give you guys some updates. So coming up in the next segment, I'm just going to leave you guys with some tips and motivation throughout your week. So just stick around. We'll be right back. Again, you were listening to CMC Live on Hawk Radio Live, the official radio station for Hillsborough College here in Tampa, Florida. So guys, I just want to leave you on some motivational and some tips to end you off with a great week. And the phrase is, you either run the day or the day runs you. And so how I took that out and I dissected it, it means to me, you must be in control of your time and action through planning and discipline. So as I was saying earlier in the segment, you have to be proactive in planning your day and just aligning your actions with your goals. Just achieve your goals. You don't always have to stress and to plan it by how the world sees it. Just focus on what truly matters to you and make progress towards your objectives. So for me, as I said, I really do want to get my security license to get out of CNA. Not that CNA is bad work and not that it's harsh or it's killing me, and it's nothing negative. It's just wanting to better myself and wanting to prove myself that I can run better, run better in my life, and knowing how to manage my time and to leave feeling good. So when you go throughout the day and you feel overwhelmed, you have to take a step back and think about what exactly is overwhelming you. So again, you either run the day or the day runs you, guys. Don't let the day beat you up, and that is coming from the famous Jim Rohn. Again, either you run the day or the day runs you. And so with that being said, that is actually all the time that I have. And as I said again, guys, this is your girl Prodigal, and you're listening to CMC Live. I thank you all for listening today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show and our time together. I am coming to you every Thursday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon, bringing you a variety of topics, fun vibes, and highlights to your day. Next week, I will uncover some diverse topics, world trends, and more. You guys stay blessed. Remember to not stress. Take it one day at a time, and know that your life means something. Again, guys, stay blessed, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.